Guys, it is time for the first ever Spo TV Starleague Grand Finals. I am Wolf. Joining me is Moonglade, and I am feeling the hype, man.
Oh, man. What a sick intro to a sick finals. It's going to be truly an amazing one, I think.
It really, really is. We've got a Terran versus Terran. There's a lot of StarCraft 2, Terran versus Terran, StarCraft final history. You know, we've had a lot of them. Terrans were doing very badly in Korea last year. Now we've got two Terrans in the finals. I didn't think we'd be seeing a TVT final in Korea for a while, but I'm really excited. We've got these two Titans here. And Dream versus Maru is going to be sick. Dream, the underdog here, but he's on fire right now. Definitely the best he's ever been.
Yeah, no doubt about that. These kind of like the new blood, the new Terran players coming into power right now. It is so exciting.
Yeah, that it is. So we're going to be hearing from these players. We're going to have an interview here. And let's take a look at them right now. All right, so we're going to be having that interview. Sojung is here, as always, to translate for you guys.
And it is Maru for Gender Greetings.
There he is, walking up on stage, looking great today. And we're going to be hearing or bringing up his opponent, Dream. Here he comes.
He looks really serious right now.
He absolutely does. This is a serious occasion. This is a grand finals. His first ever in Korea. That trophy.
We have the two players ready for today. Let's see.
Playing the crowd. There's a ton of people here in the arena tonight.
You know, everyone gets nervous with this guy. Everyone looks forward to it, and we're going to be talking to Maru. Everyone's cheering for Maru at the moment. Over there, you can see. You know, it's been a long time since Maru has been to finals, and let's see how he feels. Well, I wasn't really nervous while I was preparing, but when I came here, I got really nervous. You know, everyone knows that Maru is just fit for the finals. Let's see why he's nervous. Well, there's lots of people. And he's nervous. You know, we're going to be looking forward to that next season for a lot of crowd. You know, speaking of fans, there's lots of fans here tonight, and there's something that we're wondering at the moment.
Yeah.
It's TVT for finals. You know, everyone was saying this is going to be boring. Let's see what he's got to say for this. Well, we're both aggressive, so I don't think it's going to be boring at all. It's going to be really fun tonight. You know, he's calm, but he's just on the point today. Maru. Maru said he was nervous. Let's see what Dream has to say. Look at the T1 fangirl screaming. Your Dream has been doing really well in Pro League also, but this is his first time going to the finals for Individual League. Let's see how he feels. I'm a bit nervous also. You know, there's lots of shouts for me. Lots of cheers from the crowd. Let's make him more nervous. Fans scream their heads off right now. You know, Dream has been waiting for this moment. He's not a newbie, you know. He's been here for a long time in StarCraft 2. And this is his first finals. He went to his round of semifinals, now he's at finals. I really wanted to win this league. I want to win this. I want to win more because it's Maru.
Yeah.
You know, everyone says that Maru is just the best Terran out there right now. So that's why I want to win. I just want to stomp.
Yeah, a lot to prove, right?
Yeah. You know, it's a TVT, but it's going to be a really fast one. Well, everyone knows, and he also knows Maru is really strong, and he's going to stomp on him today. Well, at least he hopes so. And now we're only looking forward to the matches. And there's going to be 3 screens tonight. You know, one for Maru here, and another one for Dream here. And for StarCraft 2 here.
3 screens, 2 POVs, gonna be sick. If you're not here, get down here. If you live in Seoul, you should be here. Come down to the next arena, free entry. And some sick games.
Everyone's ready. Let's see.
Time to start, ladies and gentlemen. People are getting super, super hyped. Lord of Dream, winner and victor, that sign said over there. We're going to an interview video, guys. Stay tuned for it.
꿈에 그리던 곳이어서 기대 많이 되고 재밌을 것 같아요. 질까봐 되게 걱정이 많았는데 이렇게 올라오게 돼서 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 아니요, 이렇게 뭐 바로 결승 올 거라고는 생각 안 했는데 예선은 뚫을 수 있을 정도 실력이구나 이렇게 생각하고 했었는데 16강 하고 8강 할 때는 점점 실력이 계속 올라왔던 것 같아요. 저랑 태양이 형 아니면 영호 형이 올라갈 줄 알았는데 1위로 올라가셔가지고 되게 당황했어요. 그때는
조중혁이 양쪽에서 결국 이제 인구수가 앞서고 있다라는 이런 측면으로
그냥 좀 선수가 준비를 좀 부족하게 해오지 않았나 생각하고 있고 그때 너무 어이없게 져가지고 멘탈이 좀 나갔었어요. 제가 빌드만 잘 짜면 쉽게 이길 수도 있을 것 같아요. 어차피 똑같은 유닛으로 싸우잖아요, 태태전은. 컨트롤 더 잘하는 쪽이 이기지 않을까 정면 승부하려고 생각하고 있어요. 잘하시는 것 같아요. 저는 승현이한테 졌는데 이기고 올라오셨으니까. 현재 프로게이머들 중에서 가장 잘한다 라고 생각하고 있고 그냥 결승에서 만날 만한 상대를 만난 것 같아요. 그냥 1경기를 잡으면 되게 편할 것 같아요. 4대2 정도로 이길 것 같아요. 그때까지 4강에서 너무 많이 져가지고 진짜 결승 한번 오고 싶었는데 준비 열심히 해서 꼭 우승할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 지금 간절함이 많이 생기는데 우승에 대해서 솔직히 준우승하면 아무것도 아니라 생각하고 있기 때문에 무조건 우승만 생각하고 있어요. 힘들게 올라오신 것 같은데 1인자 되기에는 부족하신 것 같아서 제가 우승하겠습니다. 16강 때 해보니까 되게 준비 많이 안 해왔던 것 같더라고. 그렇게 또 이번에 하면은 4대0이니까 준비 좀 많이 했으면 좋겠어요.
What an excellent set of interviews we just saw, actually. That got me even more hyped. Kind of getting a little bit of an inner look at what these two players are feeling like going into this series. It seems like Maru is not super confident, but Dream is out for blood. He wants Maru to play his best so that he can prove he is the best Terran. He wants to beat Maru when he's at his absolute best. He says, if you don't bring your A game, I'm going to beat you 4-0, and that's not what anybody wants to see. That's not what Dream wants. He wants a real victory today.
Yep, I believe it, man. Dream has definitely had a lot more time to prepare than Maru as well, if you think about things, as Maru had to go to IM Katowice.
Yeah.
He's been traveling a lot to Europe, especially. I mean, that's going to be pretty rough with jet lag and whatnot. He only came back this week, so
yeah.
The preparation time for Maru just wasn't there. Let's see if it's actually going to affect today or not. He's had a few days to kind of rest up.
Sure.
And Maru was already looking fantastic in this matchup.
Yeah.
But granted, I mean, Dream beat him the last time they played 2-1 in the round of 16 here.
That's exactly right, and we even saw like a little recap of that earlier. In the Dream said in the interview, he feel like that at that time Maru did not prepare very well. Now I'm sure Maru is much more prepared for a grand finals, but still, like you said, Dream has had a lot more time to prepare, and I feel like Dream might want this more, especially based on the interviews we've seen. Dream has never had a Korean finals. He's never had a Korean championship. This is going to be his first time ever And this is a big stage. There's a lot of fans here. I looked at him. He does not look nervous at all, man. He looks really ready for this.
Yeah, well, he's got everything to prove and not much to lose compared to Maru. Maru's already kind of established himself. He's already proven that he is one of the top dogs last year.
Yeah.
So he's got, a lot of pressure behind him. Maru, that is. And Dream is just coming in here and going to show us what he's got.
Yeah, that he is. Welcome back, Sojourn.
Welcome back.
So we are going to be jumping into this one pretty soon. Now, we will be taking a look at the map list. I haven't actually seen it yet.
Starting on Merry-Go-Round.
Starting on Merry-Go-Round, okay, because, yeah, you're already in the lobby. But just to put this into perspective for you guys, most finals, there's a week in advance, for example, where the players practice for the specific maps and the map order. But in this case, the maps are decided about 30 to 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, at least it's not like any other sort of matchup. It's a mirror match, so maps aren't as important, especially for a TVD. Obviously, some maps kind of dictate how fast the game could go, how aggressive these Terrans can be.
Sure.
But that's about it. Both these players, as Maru already said, they're extremely aggressive. No, none of these guys go mech.
No.
We haven't seen mech from either of these players yet. Maybe today we might, but yeah, we're going to see very fast-paced games, and any map they go on, I think they'll just be at home at.
Exactly. I feel like these two players really know how to play the best style for each map. They're not really like the type of player who goes, oh, I'm weak on this map because mech is strong here and I don't know how to do that. Or I can only do rush strategy on this map because it's small and I'm a more mech-oriented player, so I might be weaker on this map. Both these players don't seem to have massive strengths or weaknesses in this matchup. They're just great all-around Terran versus Terran players. So I think that in a best-of-7, the map order isn't going to matter that much unless they really have something super specifically planned for a certain map. We're going to be talking about some of the events we have down here at the studio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this, Sojung?
Sorry, guys.
No worries, no worries.
And the first event is if you guys are here at the event, you guys have your stamps ready. So 18 times you get a mouse pad, and 21 times you get a WoW Collector's Edition. And if you have 24 stamps, you're going to get a Razer mouse keyboard. And there's also going to be a raffle, so you can get an autographed mouse pad and a Collector's Edition of WoW. And we also have another finals event. We have a Starleague winner champions ring. We're gonna give one away.
Yeah.
Also, we have pizza. I'm sorry.
Pizza, sick. I ate pizza earlier. I knew this was gonna happen. I was prepared.
Well, we don't get pizza anyway, Wolf.
That's why I ate it earlier, man.
Yeah.
And also, we have raffles here for Razer headsets, Razer mousepad. You have Collector's Edition for World of Warcraft, and a projector from Gigabyte, Gigabyte mouse, and Gigabyte keyboard. So if you guys are here and listening to this, put your name in.
Yeah, the championship ring is super sick. I think that's the one everybody wants. You're going to get the same ring whoever wins today. You can pretend like you're the champion.
That's kind of a weird prize.
And also, if you're here, post your photo on Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, and be sure to tag Proxy Wolf and Moonglade in it, and Brendan Valdez, I know he's here as well. We'll be retweeting those for you guys. You tweet some sick pics while you're here in the studio.
And
Take
also,
a go, I'll retweet that.
You're going to be able to get a beta key for Heroes of the Storm.
Yes. I know some hardcore StarCraft fans. I wouldn't play that game anyways. Oh, come on, give it a try. It's a fun game.
Also, you have that prize pool written over there.
Yep.
Korean.
That's about $40,000
Yes.
and 2,000 WCS points, of course.
Yes.
Now, if you're just here in the studio, you're not going to win 2,000 WCS points in a raffle. Sorry, if you wanted to go to BlizzCon, that's not going to happen. We do have the golden hand as well, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. So the winner will be able to get his hand made into a statue, which is in gold. That's the honorable hand. It says in the caption.
Yeah, I was wondering what that word says.
The
Honorable hand.
Yes.
By the way, I want to point out that both the SKT team roster, the complete roster, and the Jin Air roster have made it down to the studio today. So as you guys can see them in the crowd there, those aren't just a bunch of T1 fans all sitting together. That's the whole team. They came down here, as well as Jin Air. And all right, that's going to do it for the pregame show. Let's get into this, Moonglade. Let's talk about Maru's run in this tournament.
Let's do it, man. He's had a pretty impressive run. No doubt, I guess the biggest result is falling to Dream 1-2 in that round of 16. Still made it out, but it kind of showed things to come. Maybe Dream got a step up on him, maybe coming into this with a little bit of an advantage, a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
Though I got to say, when you look at both these players, they have kind of very stylistic sort of TVT as well. Maru, he loves to go Banshees. He's it's pretty much his thing. Like, you'll see him in every single TVT. He'll open Banshees or transition to Banshees after some other opening. But he'll always get there, and he always makes it work.
Yeah, he's really, really good at it. He looks exhausted today. I think there's a ton of pressure on this guy right now.
He's looking nervous, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Dream, his opponent, had a very impressive run. This guy defeated arguably the world's best player, Life, 4-3.
Well, the world's best Zerg players, at least. Solar, Dark, and Life. This guy went through a gauntlet of Zergs. And, I mean, we hyped him from the start as being like an amazing TVZer, but he's also proven he's a fantastic TVTer as well.
Yeah.
And I got to say, his stylistic sort of trait going into a TVT would have to be his drops.
Yep.
He loves his Doom drops. He loves going for that sort of opportunity. Very risky, and sometimes it can cost him games, but it can win him a lot of games as well.
It absolutely can, and I think that Maru, if he wants to prepare for this opponent specifically, is definitely going to have some sick turret rings. You know, if we're going to the late game, sensor tower is going to be quite important, for example. Now, looking at these two players' stats here, you can see Maru just coming off one loss. The only loss he had, of course, was versus Dream. This is for this season, by the way, these stats. The record in sets, very similar here. In fact, the win rate similar as well. And you can see Dream's playtime per set is on average a little bit higher. He likes to play a little bit more drop-oriented, like you said.
Yeah.
Maru likes to kind of push aggressively on the ground, like straight up.
Yeah, Maru is very aggressive in this matchup. He loves his Banshees, loves picking them apart, then following it up with like the 1-1-1 style, Siege Tanks, Banshee, Marines, and trying to end the game on 2 base pretty early on. And yeah, Dream likes to take it a little bit slower, a little bit longer, but he loves to try and end things with getting advantageous sort of drops and positioning, and with winning it out like that.
Dream is the type of player who likes to catch you out of position. He likes to find a way to just kind of take what you were thinking and turn it on its head. You know, if you're trying to move out, he's going to come and attack you from a flank, kill some of your siege tanks and move back. He's going to do a big drop. He's going to hurt your economy.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, as we look at this graph here, I guess, like, when you're looking at it from Maru's standpoint, Maru has to be very sort of on top of where Dream is at all times and the possibilities of these mega drops coming in. And then from Dream's perspective, he's going to shut down Maru's sort of harassment early on with the Banshees especially, whether that be going for early Raven, Viking, or just early turrets and decent Marines. Just kind of shutting that down, and then they'll be going into that mid-game where things are going to get really interesting.
Now, if you look at the efficiency of these two, this is basically what this graph is showing, the unit efficiency, like for cost, total units killed versus total units lost. Dream, very, very efficient. You know, he's almost like twice as efficient, but he fights a lot. He kills a lot of units, he loses a lot of units. He is constantly attacking. He's going to make these big trades, as you can see, just by history here.
That is really interesting. I guess that's for all matchups as well?
I think that was for maybe just Terran versus Terran. I'm not sure, because this is for Starleague Season 1. Maybe that one was for a different pool of something, but looking at this now, that's like those numbers are so big, I can't even do the math in my head.
I don't even know what that means, man. Like, a lot of killing units lost.
Killing units over units lost means like it's like his KD ratio. Like Dream has done more damage than he's received, basically. Right. I mean, that's what that ratio at the bottom actually means.
Okay.
It just means Dream is a little bit more efficient, I guess, with his trades. Doesn't really mean all too much going into this matchup. I think the reason why we have this graph is because this is a mirror matchup, and as Dream was actually saying earlier, a micro is important in this mirror matchup because it's all about you have the same units, you have the same tools as he has. There's no, like, counter units.
Yeah, well, it's all positioning, and it's all micro-based, as well as, obviously staying on top of your macro behind it all. But yeah, it really comes down to the efficiency. And Maru, I mean, Maru used to be known for his efficiency more than anything else. He used to be kind of a bit more of a cheesier Terran who would rely on a lot of harassment and a lot of micro early games. So I think this is right up his alley.
Now, these are Maru's recent Terran versus Terrans. He fought Marine King and beat him. He beat Byung, pretty big accomplishment there. He's able to beat Hack, TY, and then Hack again. Unfortunately, though, as we mentioned before, the only Terran he lost to, which seems to maybe be possibly an Achilles heel of some sort, is Dream. I mean, it was a while ago. But still, this keeps coming up. The stat is really relevant.
It is very relevant. It wasn't too long ago, Like, he can still look back at it, and he probably plays the exact same way or very similar as we did see in Pro League in recent times from both players. They're still playing this same kind of style, but they might want to change it up today, obviously being very familiar with each other going into this Grand Finals.
Looking at Dream's most recent games, he's played against a lot of non-Terran opponents. The most recent Terran he fought was Keen. These are just some important stats. He beat some big players, though, here in his recent games. Maru, he beat him. He beat Dark. He beat Rain. He beat Life. And honestly, beating Super is pretty impressive. I'm not even going to take anything away there.
Yeah, no, that's a good win right there. And as we look at this next one,
has not been as dominant in the Terran versus Terran matchup, though, as you guys can see here.
Yeah.
Losing to TY, Byung, and Cure recently.
Well, yeah, like the most recent losses, Byung and Cure in Pro League really come to mind. So a bit of an upset there, but I mean, it's a best of one, and we'll see if it has an effect today. It's kind of like why my prediction for today was I believe Maru could win this. I think Maru should win this, but it's hard to say where each other are at. We don't actually get to see that many TVT games.
So let's look at this and let's kind of focus on the Terran part of this graph. So you can see Maru actually plays against Protoss most often, but he has the best win rate overall versus Terran. That win rate doesn't mean as much if you want to look at it super close here because it's only making up 24% of how many games he's played in recent times. This is, of course, SSL plus GSL and Pro League for this year. But you can see he's got a great record versus Terran. Doesn't play the matchup too often, but still 72%. That's pretty impressive.
That's still most of them.
Dream having his worst record being Terran versus Terran and also it making up the least amount of games he's played. So it does kind of affect the 37% that you do see here, but at the same time, it is kind of glaring when you look at it between his other matchups.
Yeah.
Not a ton of stats.
Not the best stats. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to... We don't see that many TVTs, you know, in general. Like, Terran has been struggling.
Right. I mean, he's 3-5, so he's only played 8 TVTs in the stats that we're looking at here. So it's not a huge pool of statistics to pull from, but we are very early in this year. When we start to see stats for, like, Starleague Season 2 and Season 3, that's where we're going to be seeing a ton more stats, a ton more Pro League stats, for example. This is still very early on in the year. We're still in March.
Yeah, still a long way to go as we finally see the first 3 maps of today. Merry-Go-Round, Overgrowth, and then Foxtrot Labs. So, nice sort of start to the day here. We're going to be starting on Merry-Go-Round. It's going to be a very explosive game, I think. It's one of those maps where TVT is just a whole new level of aggression.
I'm just looking at these stats. It looks like the map these two have played on the most is Merry-Go-Round in total. So they have a lot of experience on that map. You can see Dream's got an equal amount of games played, though, on Overgrowth. And funny is the identical win rates there. But, of course, looking at the versus Terran stats, like you're saying, Terran is struggling in Korea for a really long time. It's kind of crazy that you now finally have a TVT Finals again. But there's not a whole lot of stats to go here on the versus Terran side of things. So I wouldn't take too much into this, like, oh, 50% win ratio. Well, that's 1-1. You know, that's not a whole lot of information here.
Yeah, just not that much as we have the next set of maps, Deadwing, Catalina, Nimbus, and then finishing things off on King Sejong Station. Ooh, let's see if it gets to Game 7. I'd love to see a final game on that map.
That is what I want to see too, man. By the way, the most important stat we've seen so far here, actually two of the most, besides the most important thing, which is map list. Maru is 7-3 on Deadwing in total. He's played 10 games on that map. That's a lot of information. And he is undefeated currently, 4-0, and a 1-0 versus Terran on Catalina. So he seems to be pretty comfortable on that map as well.
Yeah, I mean, going into these later maps, definitely kind of favoring Maru. At least you should have a lot of confidence on these maps.
Now, let's see if Dream can kind of pull ahead early, because I think it's going to be really important. I think Maru needs some early wins to get his confidence up, though, because he is looking very, very nervous, Moonglade.
He is, man. He is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Neighbors Starleague Grand Finals, game number 1, Maru versus Dream on Merry-Go-Round. Let's jump into it. To the bottom, in center, in red, it's Maru for Jenner Green Wings. The former Prime player, the Marine Prince, as they call him.
Not green today, actually.
Yeah.
Bit surprised about that, but at the top left, we do have, for SKT, it is Dream.
Indeed. I've been watching this player since the very beginning of his career. I spent a lot of time with him in MLG in New York. Very friendly guy, very talented player. Was always waiting for him to break out because, you know, these two players come from very similar backgrounds. They're both former ESF players.
Yeah, they have very similar storylines, actually. It's just Maru kind of took advantage of that a little bit earlier, got into a Casper team just a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and Dream, you know, he didn't hit his potential as fast. as we do have a quicker gas here for Dream, just to point this out, but only slightly. But Maru really hit his stride very early on in his career. Maru also has been around since the very first open season of GSL. He's been playing StarCraft 2 for a very long time, whereas Dream, started to become a little bit more known a little bit later, but never really hit his stride. He was an IEM finalist, but was not a champion.
Yep.
He got second place to first, I believe, in that
right.
tournament. And so this is a big finals for him. This is a big moment for him. He's finally made it to a great, super strong Kespa team, not just any Kespa team.
Like the best Kespa team.
The best Kespa team.
Yeah, I feel like their careers kind of actually just started when they got to those Kespa teams as well. They actually just started playing to their potential for once, finally. They got out of that, that other environment. They got into a more, I guess, professional environment where they really had to buckle down and practice hard to remain in that team, and they really flourished there. And now we're seeing the result of that, both in the grand finals, both on top of their game as the best Terran players in the world.
Now we do see a faster scout here from Maru. Unfortunately, the incorrect direction.
Yeah.
Scouting in TBT is sometimes a bit of a gamble on a map like this because if you guess wrong, you're not really going to get to see anything with that SCV. The Marines are going to be out. The Reaper's going to be out, for example. You're not going to get a good scout.
Pretty identical builds from both players as well to start things off.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on those second gases. So obviously neither are rushing them out just yet. Fighting, it says there. And SCV is going to come up here and scout, because you can get some information with the SCV scout, like how many Marines are up there,
well,
did he go gas first.
If that SCV actually commits up the ramp, you could even see that command center and know pretty much exactly what's going on.
He's going to go for it.
Oop.
He
sees it?
Yep, he does.
He sees it, he knows. So, worth it for sure.
Absolutely.
We're going to go into Hellions. This is kind of the map, I have to say, more than anything else. This map, bit of a special one. You are going to see maybe a little bit more Hellion play on this map compared to the other maps where you might see more early Banshee play with Marine drops and whatnot, and a lot more mixed up sort of stuff. Here, though, yeah, it's kind of more like this. I wonder, though, if either player plans on going mech this game. Now, that would be interesting, seeing neither have done it before.
Sure. I mean, it's certainly possible. And with an early heavy Hellion opening like this, it does transition well into mech. Starports are a bit later for these two. We do see an eBay coming down here for Dream for safety. And here comes that first Hellion scout across the map here for Dream.
Oh. It's like Maru hiding his Hellions for now. Maybe a bit of a flank, see if he can actually take them out, get a nice little lead in the early game, take that map control.
That would be huge. A few Marines coming across with this for Dream as well. He's really committing to this.
Yeah, I feel like Maru actually just knows the game plan of Dream in this game. He's like, well, Dream is actually going to be very aggressive, and I'm going to catch him out with 4 Hellions, 2 from behind.
Yeah, the 2 from behind is so smart. It's like he knows exactly what's coming. He's been tipped off almost. Oh, moves down to confirm. Few shots going off here, but not the lineup that he wanted. There come the Hellions from behind, getting some great shots up here.
Oh.
Good splits as well by Maru, and he's going to totally shut this down.
Wow, what a great movement. Maru on top of his game. He knows exactly what he had to do in the start of this. He's going to take the map control. Looks like he's going to counterattack as well, and that's going to mean Dream cannot take that natural anytime soon.
Nope, and this is going to allow Maru to do exactly that. Lift that command center and land it right smack at the natural. Putting on a lot of pressure here. Good repairs here by Dream to just make sure that even though he took some damage, he'll be able to keep those Hellions alive and maintain their hit points. And yeah, he's just going to deny this. He's going to get an SCV kill for his troubles as well, and takes a huge lead right now.
Yeah, this is a great sort of early momentum for Maru. Really commanding the game. He's got a medivac up here too to heal those Marines. So I don't see Dream getting out of this base anytime soon.
You know, he may even drop. Yep, he is going to. Gonna have to be very sneaky about it. He does escape from the main without any of those units seeing him. This is basically the only thing he can do, right? Move at him, and he's kind of stuck here. He's a bit contained.
Yep.
Oh, but he's going to run right into a Viking. Oh, no. He doesn't see it.
He saw it at the last moment. Didn't get any shots off, though, but he's going to have to do some damage control, pulling everything back. And it's only going to be 1 Hellion and 1 Marine to kind of fend this off until everyone else gets here.
Yep.
This is a lot of damage.
Viking coming back as well here to try to help out. It's going to shut down the medevac. Good splits here. Good stop micro splits on those SCVs. That was really nice.
Oh, my God.
He only killed 2? That's it? Damn. That just happened.
Hold on. One more shot could do a lot.
Oh, not quite able to get it done. It looked like he used that stop trick where you highlight all your SCVs and hit stop and then just use the idle worker button to send them in a bunch of different directions.
Yeah, he did a great job minimizing the damage. That could have just changed the game completely, but still, Maru with a very commanding lead, up 20 supply, has that natural fully saturated at this point as well.
Yeah, and he's been mining there for so long already. Only now is Dream able to secure his natural. He does have a nice concave of defensive units up here. Maru looks like he's poised to maybe try to break this.
I think he can as well. He's got simply too much at this point. This bunker has to finish.
It's almost done, but it's not ready yet. He's coming up the ramp. Vikings are landed to help out with the DPS. SCVs get pulled as well. Bunker does finish here. Will it be enough? The medevac is healing those Marines up, and the SCV shots are so good here for Maru.
Ooh, I think Maru might have to pull back, but we have seen 7 SCVs go down already. So it actually doesn't even matter if Maru loses this fight. He still maintains a super strong economy lead.
Yeah. We just saw a ton of mules drop there by Dream. He just needs them. He needs that economy. He's down 11 harvesters right now in this game. Stim is on the way. A little bit faster for him, but I just don't think he has the army to back that up. By the time that's done, he's not really going to be able to attack or do much with it because Maru's just simply too far ahead at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, Maru is also getting Stim. He's got obviously much better production by now. He's building a lot more as well. He's maintaining that supply lead and economy lead. And now he's going for double upgrades with 2 engineering bays.
Yeah. And I really do appreciate Dream's attention to repair in this game because when you're this far behind, you need every hit point you can get. You have to be as efficient as you can with those resources. This drop that we're seeing Maru go for could do some damage as well.
Oh, Dream.
Oh boy, this could be a disaster.
Dream trying. Oh, he might actually just get around the Vikings just. I don't think Maru noticed. Nope. Wow.
Well, there's a ton of units back here to defend, so I just don't think it's going to matter anyways. Here comes this drop. This might distract him a little bit as he is targeting down these SCVs. There's nothing here. There's 2 Marines here in the main base, and several SCVs are starting to go down, and he cannot afford to lose these right now. In fact, he's just fighting the Marines straight up as well.
Yeah, trading pretty well, actually. Damn, 9 SCVs going down to that. To the, 2 that did some work on Maru's. Just nothing at this point. Just further and further behind.
He even lost the medevac. This is pretty rough.
I love it. I love that we're seeing 3 Vikings as well. You know, this is just exactly what Maru needs to do against someone like Dream, who is very focused on dropping more than anything else.
Well, it looks like Dream's finally going to move across the map and attack. Can you check the siege tank count for me?
Absolutely.
Okay, he's just got one siege tank, and that's the only advantage he really has. Meanwhile, Maru's going to go for a counterattack to try to catch some reinforcements. He's going to get one. He's going to slow this down. This is a good read by Maru, knowing exactly what Dream was going to do. He's just going to slow this down, buy more time for his economy to kick in more, to get his own siege tanks out, to get those upgrades up. His combat shields are coming up a bit, later here as well.
Maru's actually he had such a bang for just a moment there. He was sitting on like around 700 minerals, just waiting for that production to finish, the reactors on those 2 extra barracks to finish. And he's going to be careful as we are going to see that the drop into the main base.
I don't know if this is going to be enough units in the drops. That siege tank is everything here. The Vikings trying to help push this back. SCVs do have to be pulled. Let's see how many he kills here. 6 go down, 7, 8. But it's going to be a huge cost here for Dream. He's going to lose the siege tank as well as all these units. Does kill 14 SCVs, so it's a step in the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction, but still Maru maintains that supply lead. He might be inclined to a counterattack at this point, considering he did wipe out that army, and he still has a pretty hefty supply lead. Clearly that's going to be an army more than anything else.
This is a tough game. He's fighting such a tough uphill battle right now. Dream is a huge drop.
Oh, I don't think Maru will be expecting another counterattack from Dream.
Dream has to turn around. Oh, no, he decides not to, but this may end up becoming an elimination race here. I don't think that Dream can win. He's not even at Maru's natural yet, whereas Maru has already forced his CC to lift. And look at this, Maru has siege tanks to defend. A huge group of Stim Marines to target that siege tank down, and that's exactly what he does here. Does fall. He should be able to push this back. Yep. Meanwhile, the natural is still lifted.
I think that might be it. Well, I don't know. I don't think there's anything Dream can really do at this point. He's trying with the few Marines he has, but there's a siege tank already in the natural, wiping out half of them in just a couple of shots. Shooting a supply depot.
Well, at that point, he could shoot a supply depot. That's how ahead he is,
man.
He
can do whatever he wants at this point, Wolf.
That might have been like a manor target there.
No, I hope we do see a little bit of that sort of showboating. Maybe some mule drops. We'll see there.
Based on Maru's interviews, this is the exact kind of start that I think he needs in this series. This has been a dominant performance. Look at this Hellion lineups here from the low ground, even just wiping some of those Marines, damaging several of the others.
Oh, got a buffer for this tank. It's going to get down pretty quickly. It's not really enough here. Looks like Maru might be overpowered, but he's getting a pretty nice trade in.
He gets a decent trade. He had those medevacs. He may have stayed a bit too long, but it's the follow-up force that's what really matters. Armory is finally coming up here for Maru as well, something he was missing for a little while, so he didn't have those upgrades. Double upgrades now finished on both sides of the table here. And Dream is hanging in there. I mean,
he is.
He has actually a Harvester lead right now. He needs to continue to defend, though. That was a great little scout here.
That's too many tanks, I think. Maru's got to be careful. He actually needs to start making tanks of his own, which is... I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't been really focusing on that. He's going to go for a Doom Drop instead.
Oh, boy. Let's see if Dream can get into position. He's also launching his own medevacs to try to catch up here. And Maru unloading a bit slowly here. I don't know if this is actually the right choice. There's seed tanks on the low ground, Moonglade. This is starting to hurt. This is pretty expensive.
Yeah, I think it still ended up being a better trade for Maru, but he had to get out of there ASAP because he cannot be fighting against tanks like that.
Yeah, he is making his own tanks now, and now that his armory is done, he feels confident enough. He can spend those resources on the +2. Starting to get that out here. Now going to attack again while his tank is unsieged.
Oh, got to be careful. There's still one sieged up on the high ground. He's going to get out again. And, you know, we're kind of seeing Maru give Dream a taste of his own medicine when it comes to this kind of play, because this is exactly what we see from Dream every single TVT. Just completely focused on outmaneuvering with these giant drops. But Maru, got to be careful. Double drop heading towards his main base, and he has nothing in position for it currently.
Something else to consider, though, is that these units are not going to be here for the defense should Maru decide to commit to a big drop again. He just continues to use his medevacs with boosters to scout, which I do like, but a lot of his medevacs are getting low energy. Okay, here's a double drop. Tank isn't sieged, but there are a lot of Marines here, and he stims, and this should be enough, like you said. Some SCVs do get pulled here, but he's got to be careful. He cannot afford to lose units, cannot afford to lose medevacs.
Ooh.
One goes down. 30 supply lead now for Maru.
It's looking a little bit more convincing at this point, and with 2-2 halfway done, once that finishes, he's going to have such an advantage when it comes to the bio fights. It's actually going to get incredibly one-sided, I think, if it gets to that point. So Dream's actually going to really have to make something happen now, but he's going to run into Marines, but Maru, is he going to get it in time? The boost ran out.
Well, he's going to sack some Marines here to try to save it, but I don't think it's going to matter. Does force a big stim, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Finally gets it. All right.
But, I mean, with all these medevacs, who cares? There are 12 medevacs on the map for Maru. He's like this. He's basically decided he wants medevacs instead of siege tanks in this game.
I guess so. I don't know if that's the right choice,
I don't think so. But like,
well, when he's got 2-2, it might be, because those Marines are going to be so hard to deal with.
It's 3 Marines for 1 medevac is basically the ratio right now. I take that back. He's got a few more Marines than I thought. 66 in total. Dream somehow sneaks a drop in here. It's going to get deflected, but 2 kills. Yeah. It's just that Maru is just constantly containing him here. I feel like Maru could almost just take a third base at this point.
I feel like he almost should at this point, right? Like, he's got him essentially completely contained. He's just deflecting drops left and right. You might as well just take that advantage to another step and get that third CC down.
Yeah. He's just, soft containing him, basically. And Dreams continues to try to send these lone drops out to the side. And there's always tons of units here to defend. Dream now moving around his natural, possibly posturing to finally break out.
Well, he can try. That's still pretty impressive numbers down there for Maru.
78 Marines on the map and 2-2 to 1-1. Even without siege tanks for Maru at that location, he's not going to be able to break through. Maru has decided to lift his main base to his third rather than make a third CC. Meanwhile, another drop is ripping through the natural. 8 kills.
Wow, doing a lot of damage. There's also one in the main trying to kill the armory. So Dream he's hanging in there. He's doing a little bit of damage here and there, but until he breaks that contain at the front of his natural, I don't see how he can actually do this.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't see it either. Oh boy, losing the medevac here. It did definitely do a lot of damage, but Maru is almost at the point with all the medevacs he has where he could just doom drop on top of everything. Like, he has so many medevacs.
Yeah.
He could just do a big drop into the main almost.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find the positioning for it, but when the Marines are so defensive like this from both sides, it's really hard to find efficient drops. It looks like finally Dream is going to try and make a move on this containment. He's got to make something happen. He's going to start dropping maybe on the low ground, or maybe just go for that third base with a triple drop there.
He's got a ton of siege tanks on the high ground. He may be trying to bait these units into the siege tank fire, but Maru's not getting close enough. And the drops do get away. They do get past the blockade, and they're going to come over here now and swing around and hit that natural pretty hard. That's 3 whole medevacs worth of drops, so could absolutely do damage and kill a lot of Marines on the defensive as well. It's so difficult to actually break a defensive Terran player. That's why this game is turning out this way. It's hard to finish him off.
Yeah, especially on 2 bases like this. Yeah, and I mean, up a ramp, it really is just so hard. And finally, look at this Dream making some Vikings. He's going to get a sort of air control, at least for a little bit, until he sacks his Vikings.
Well, he's focusing on this drop over here at the same time.
Yeah. He's going to do a lot of damage, I think, actually.
He has to. The upgrades are finally now even here for just a moment, and he has the better Marine numbers, and actually, there's nothing here. There's nothing here at all. He may be able to just target down the CC. He's going to get it.
Oh, my God, he is.
And that is huge. Oh! He gets it. He doesn't want to fight this, though. It looks like he wants to just kill some SCVs, but it's going to cost him a lot of units.
Well, now he's going to try for a drop onto the tanks. Maru paying attention, though.
That is huge.
Oh.
That puts us at 1 CC to 2.
1 CC to 2. Well, one of them technically isn't really mining either.
Yeah, he's going to want to try to secure that if he can.
Essentially 1 base to 1 base, and Maru with the sick, very, very sick contained still remains. I mean, I didn't see how Dream can get through this unless he starts dropping on the low ground up here. Which I think finally he might be.
So tough to do that, you know. Maru's got a great siege tank spread.
I think I love the fact that he had Vikings, and if he had kept them alive, he would have had a really great sort of spotting for his tanks to finally start pushing out, especially in this position where now Maru's economy is kind of crippled.
This is an insane game. I mean, the supply doesn't even really tell the story because it's going to change very quickly.
Well, I think we're going to see Maru just crash in just a second. Look what he's bringing up. He's bringing everything up now.
He has to, and he has +3. He has +3. He has that advantage, and he's going to go in. He runs into the siege tank Stream with no buffer here. And his SCVs are stuck at the natural, and Maru just has way too much. He's just going to annihilate this army.
Yeah, just way too much. That was 93 Marines to 45 of Dreams. That was an insane number of Marines that just went down.
There's a ton of medevacs here to heal up any of the injured ones for the next push. And here we go. Tanks are unsieged. This could be the killing blow here.
It could be. He's got +3. It's going to make a big difference in this fight. Nicely done.
GG. A very, very cool game because Dream was fighting tooth and nail when he was behind the whole time, but he made it look closer than it really was.
Yeah, that was a very intense sort of chess match it ended up being with Dream. Just trying to find an angle in with all these drops. It's just too far behind in the end of things. And the momentum starts building for Maru.
He needs his wins. He needs for them for his confidence. And that was a very, very well-fought game by Maru. Just constantly controlling, very careful, very patient, spending all of his resources on attacking units and medevacs, keeping his siege tank count actually fairly low. Just, you know, the Marine Prince likes his Marines.
Yep.
I also like that he just didn't even want to drop enough money for a 3rd CC. He'd rather just lift it when he was secure from his main base. We saw both players eventually end up doing this.
Yeah. It kind of shows how aggressive these two guys are too, right? They don't want to go to 3 base. They want to stay on 2 base and just duke it out for as long as they can. On a map like Merry-Go-Round especially, where, you know, we did see drops actually do so much work, even though Dream was just so incredibly behind and contained, he still found a lot of damage.
Yeah. And on this map, too, I mean, your 3rd base is just right outside your main. It's easy to just lift over there, and also it's a good retreat path if you need to lift that 3rd CC and just get it out of there. Well, this does put Maru up 1 game, does give him a little bit of momentum here, but we are just in game number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Of a best of 7.
Of a best of 7.
It's going to be a long night.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I hope it goes to game 7.
I want that Sejong game, man. That's what I really want.
Yeah, that's going to be the best.
So we are going to go to, I believe, a 5-minute break, guys, before we go into set number 2. So we'll be back in just a few. See you then.